call the regular board meeting to order.
Thank you, Mr. President. I recommend approval of the agenda as presented.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Mr. President, I make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we will move to vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The chair votes aye, and the motion passes.
All right, I have no correspondence tonight, so we'll move on to business action items under the consent agenda. For the consent agenda, the board has been furnished with background material on each item or has discussed the item at a previous meeting. Consent agenda items will be acted upon with one vote without discussion. If a board member wants to discuss any item, it will be pulled from the consent agenda and voted on separately. Does any board member wish to pull anything from the consent agenda? Our agenda tonight consists of the minutes from the April 15th, 26th, as well as the May 13th meeting. Bills and accounts for April, the April financial report, and those April bank statements have been reconciled. There is a budget amendment, number 1, on tonight's consent agenda. We have the establishment of board meeting schedule for the coming year, the continuation of the A+ College Ready School Partnership, as well as a basketball camp fundraiser and a competition trip for the high school chorus and show choir for March of 2022. With that, Mr. President, I recommend approval of the consent agenda.
Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll now vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The chair votes aye, and the motion passes.
Next, Mr. President, is the personnel report, and I recommend the board approve the attached personnel report as presented.
Do I have a motion to approve the personnel report as presented?
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the personnel report as presented.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All of those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? The chair votes aye, and the motion passes.
All right, and I will read the personnel report. Is quite lengthy, so if I misspeak, Ms. Woolfolk, you stop me. So, for the benefit of the audience, under leave of absence, Kathy Eldridge for the fall 2021 semester. Also under leaves of absence, these are all FMLA leaves for the fall semester with flexible dates. Lindsay Wigginton, Cassie McConnell, Sarah Law, Ashley Keenum, and Lindsay Kilpatrick. Under retirement resignation, Melissa Bailey, foreign language teacher, Muscle Shoals High School. Arlissa Felton, English teacher, Muscle Shoals High School. Music, elementary teacher, McBride, Courtney Keenum, also McBride Middle School, Courtney Keenum. Ryan Sanderson, special education teacher, Muscle Shoals High School, effective immediately. Amy Smothers, elementary teacher, Highland Park. Trenton Roden, seasonal part-time groundskeeper, effective immediately. Under transfers, Grace Ann Bonds, from teacher at Muscle Shoals Middle School to teacher at McBride Elementary School. Rebecca Cantrell, from special ed teacher at McBride Elementary to special education teacher at Muscle Shoals Middle School. Taylor Darden, from special education teacher at Muscle Shoals Middle School to special education teacher at McBride Elementary School. Mackenzie Reck, teacher at McBride Elementary to teacher at Highland Park Elementary. Under reassignment, Cindy Bain, system-wide C&P assistant at McBride Elementary in the middle school. She'll be transferring or reassigned to Highland Park Elementary School. Under employment, John Caleb Estes, history teacher, Muscle Shoals High School. Colton Knox, 6th grade teacher, Muscle Shoals Middle School. Jenny Isbell, system-wide nurse with location to be determined. Anthony Peebles, system-wide custodian assigned to Muscle Shoals High School, effective June 1. Under other special appointments or supplemental assignment, Adam Cox, up to 140 additional hours in the summer. Hogan Isbell, seasonal groundskeeper, part-time not to exceed 29 hours. Morgan Intrican, this is a temporary amendment of hourly rate of pay for her summer work. Sydney King, majorette instructor for the 21 marching season. Mary Frances Rye, summer school instruction and math at the middle school. Eliza Ritter, summer school instruction ELA, middle school. Melanie Shockley, also summer instruction. Carly Malone, also summer instruction at the middle school. Courtney Akins, summer school counselor services, middle school. At the high school, these are summer school instruction services, Holly Brooks in science. Dusty Davis, administrative duties during the summer learning program at the high school. Robin Garrett, summer learning counseling duties at the high school. Jimmy Gay, driver education teacher. This is for the summer school driver ed program. Danielle Hillman, summer school instruction access facilitator at the high school. Carrie Johnson, summer school learning and math at the high school. Ann Wilson, concession stand during the 21-22 basketball season. Lisa Myrick, part-time contract teacher of Spanish at the high school for next year. Charlie Johnson, cleaning services at James F. Moore Stadium for the 21-22 year. Brittany Schneider, a contract principal renewal. And then we have 3 coaches to help with the overnight camp that was approved earlier. We have 3 nurses that are going to be helping with summer nursing services during summer school. And then we approved 10 teachers, elementary, to help with the summer reading camp. We approved letters training stipends for 31 teachers who have participated in letters. And then the community education program summer camp staff for enrichment counselors, Julie Acord and Lacey Lake. Summer college aides, Anna Denton, Sam Jacobs, Brianna McCarley, Anna Grace Wilson. And for informational only, this is not board action. We do have some temporary positions employed through Kelly Services. Jenny Isbell, our nurse, will be working some as a sub in the summer, and Pam Peebles will be covering McBride Elementary maternity leave during the fall. Did I misspeak on any of that? All right. And then next is my superintendent's report, Mr. President. I do want to thank all who participated in the citywide cleanup back on May 1st. We had a good group from the school system, particularly at McBride Elementary, a good group of students on their student council that helped several of us clean up around our campuses. So that was a fun day, and we appreciate the mayor and the city council orchestrating that. We were glad to partner with them to help in that effort. We do want to congratulate high school assistant band director Jessica Hood. She's been accepted into the American School Band Directors Association. That is something that you have to be chosen and sponsored by a current member of that association. So potential members must demonstrate a high level of experience, excellent moral character, and quality of musicianship. So we do congratulate Ms. Hood on that. As far as our student recognitions, I'd like to recognize Anna Lee Regan, 7th grader at Muscle Shoals Middle School, finished 8th overall at the high school state championship golf tournament. And that's a great accomplishment for a middle schooler to be competing at the state level. So congratulations to her. For the 28th year in a row, our high school wind ensemble and symphonic bands received overall superior ratings at their MPA this spring. And the band had over 40 students participate in solo and ensemble this year, and all 40 students received a superior rating, which is the highest rating you can receive. I do want to commend Mrs. Bradford and the entire cast of Hunchback. If you didn't see that, you missed an outstanding performance, because it was outstanding. It was just not like anything that I've seen from a group of high school students in this area. So they continue in that program to raise the bar. Just when you think it can't get any better, it does. So we do thank them for their hard work. In the track and field achievements, Aaliyah Williams, 2nd place discus, and Haley Tucker, 2nd place 400 meter in the 6A state track meet. And our girls program finished 10th overall in the state. So we do commend them. And then our softball team had a good run this year. They finished the season 31-6, had a nice run in the playoffs, and we congratulate Coach Green and the girls on that softball team, because they have done really well this year. And then I'm not going to read all this that you have in your packet there, board members, but we do have a week this week. There's a lot of awards day ceremonies going on. The first one's tomorrow night at the Career Academy. Well, it's not at the Career Academy. It's at the high school. in the auditorium at 6:30, but it will be our career technical awards program. And then the middle school and the high school both have their awards program. That information is available to you later in the week. Love to have you be there and support our kids if you can be. If you can't, we understand that. And then next week, the retirement tea and graduation will be on the calendar. So just watch for those announcements, and we'd love to have you to be a part of those events if you find it in your calendar that you can. All right. Anything else as far as that goes? Now we have a special recognition. You ready for this?
I've been ready.
It's a bittersweet time anytime that you say goodbye to a school board member who's served as long as Mr. Farrell Southern. 15 years, right, Mr. Southern?
That's right.
15 years. And I have just thoroughly enjoyed getting to work with him. Of course, I've worked with him in different capacities, but when you're the superintendent, you get to an up close and personal relationship. And it has just been a privilege for me to learn from him. So much wisdom and so much knowledge and so much experience is leaving our board after 15 years. And we just wish you the best, Mr. Southern. We congratulate you on that and thank you for your service.
I appreciate it.
I'm going to read this resolution that the board has all signed. It says, whereas Mr. Farrell Southern served as a member of the Muscle Shoals Board of Education for 15 years, and whereas Mr. Southern served in the capacities of both president and vice president, and whereas Mr. Southern displayed initiative and professionalism with students, parents, and employees of the Muscle Shoals City Schools, and whereas the young people of Muscle Shoals have been the beneficiaries of his conscientious leadership demonstrated by Mr. Southern, and whereas the current term of office for Mr. Southern will conclude in May of 2021, now therefore be it resolved that the Muscle Shoals Board of Education wishes to express its appreciation and congratulations to Mr. Farrell Southern for his outstanding contributions as a representative of the citizens of Muscle Shoals on the Board of Education. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be entered into the minutes of the Muscle Shoals Board of Education and that a copy be presented to Mr. Farrell Southern, and I'll do that at this time. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Any parting words or words being heard? You know, the board member that will be seated next month is here. Do we want to give her all the good, bad, and the ugly now?
Just be ready to get one of these in 15 years, son.
All right.
Now, the only thing, Chad, I would say is I've always bled red and black, and I will.
I believe that. I believe that.
I've got his phone number.
There you go. There you go. All right, Mr. President, that's all I have.
All right. In May of each year, the board elects a president and vice president to serve in the coming year. The new officers will be seated in June. At this time, I will open the floor for nominations for board president and vice president.
Mr. President, I would like to nominate Clayton Wood for board president and Celia Rudolph for board vice president.
Mr. Wood has been nominated for president and Dr. Rudolph has been nominated for vice president. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, is there a motion to close nominations and call for the vote?
I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? The chair votes aye. The motion to close nomination carries. All in favor of Mr. Wood serving as president and Dr. Rudolph serving as vice president, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Mr. Wood has been elected board president and Dr. Rudolph will serve as vice president. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The chair votes aye and the motion passes. The meeting adjourned.
All right.